go. I got it. All right. You guys, you should see me just fine right now.
How do you pronounce your name?
It's Bharti, but
Bharti.
my coordinators call me by Birdie.
Birdie?
While on course, yes.
Oh, cool. I love a good nickname while you're on course. My nickname, I did the dog sledding trip in Minnesota.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
And my nickname was Mushman.
Another nickname I had was, I guess, was Pink Flamingo, because I had a full-on pink suit. Like, I had pink pants, pink jacket that was like my dad told me to bring. I'm like, okay, now I'm going to become a pink flamingo because I had all pink on that day. I'm like,
awesome.
Low-key, I was Barbie at the moment.
Yeah. Which, did you see Barbie?
Yes, I did. It was so good.
I know, I saw it too. I was laughing so much.
I know, me too.
It's so good. You're in San Francisco?
Yeah, I live in San Francisco, but I'm currently in San Rafael because my mom lives here, and I'm gonna be going to school now in the Marin area, finishing up my 2 years.
Not a bad switch. It's beautiful up there.
Yes, indeed.
So tell me about how you got to Outward Bound. What was that? How did you get here?
To be honest, my dad kind of found it. My dad literally found it, so I don't know how I got to it. He just found it one night or one day, and I'm like, he came up to me saying, "Oh, hey, Bharti, I found this program called Outward Bound, and they do like Pinnacle, and they have this really cool program that I think you may really enjoy." I'm like, fine. Do you want me to do it, Dad? Yes. Okay, I'll do it. Fine, whatever.
What was the motivation? Was he just trying to find something for you to do, or?
For him, it was just so I don't sit around in the summer at my dad's house and just act like a meatball, because he really hates when I'm like just sitting around doing nothing, and he doesn't like it. So him doing that was him thinking that I'd be there for the summer, staying in the summer with him. But then English, are you okay? Sorry. Then I went to Marin for Christmas, like going back a little bit. I went to Marin for Christmas to my mom's house. We had some things going on, and then now I'm here, and it's a whole little circle, crazy circle.
So did you have any expectations? Were you had any like worries before you went on course?
I would say my one biggest worry was about my knee injury. My dad had mentioned to you guys that I had mentioned to you guys when I was on the email, this interview with Matt. I told him that I had knee issues, and then I think my dad called them, like had an meeting with him personally, and they called him up and said, "Is it true your daughter has some stuff that is going on?" And he said, "Oh, it's nothing that's too big, but she wants to just make sure anybody that she's doing activity. It's just nothing big. She strained it a couple years ago, but she's fine. She's just trying to look for attention." I'm like, "No, I'm not, Dad. I have that pain in my knee, in my left knee and my right knee, and I have it constant. Not constant, but I have it there whenever I'm doing a lot of activity on my knee."
Okay.
So,
and then how did you feel physically while you were going on course then?
Honestly, physically was an understatement. I was really tired after the whole program. At the beginning, it was really good. Like, I was like, "Oh, I can handle this. Okay. Some rock climbing. Okay, I can do it." But then when we got into the backpacking portion, I'm like, "Sorry, what? We're going up and then what?" And I'm like, "Okay." My dad did not prepare me with that.
Had you backpacked before?
No, I've never done backpacking, let alone with like hiking. Like, I've only done a little bit of hiking, but not like that much with what we did on Pinnacle. So it was like a really big change for my body, and my body was like, "Help me." I was like, okay.
It's real. Like having extra weight, right? You really feel it in your body for sure. What about mentally? How did you feel mentally?
Mentally, I was not there. I was so on a different planet. I was just like, "Please let me go home. I want to go home. I want to be with my mom." And like, I kind of explained, like, I never really had this choice, and all these other kids didn't have the choice too. But it was like, also like, I learned that it's okay to need to, be mad at on-call, because I got mad at on-call on our solo, and I was mad because I wasn't able to contact my mom, because on files they put my dad, but then now, since I was just recently talking to my mom, I hadn't updated the files that soon, because by the time I was out on course, I had already started talking to my mom. So I asked if they can put my mom on my file, but they put it as emergency contact. So I'm like, no, why on call? I'm so sorry, Mom. And I was like, I told my mom when I got back, I was like, Mom, I was trying to contact you, but on call was being really meh, very busy.
Did you know anybody on course?
No, I did not know anybody on that course.
And how did that go? How was it with meeting strangers and doing this with strangers?
It was really fun. I met a good bunch of girls. We had 3 girls, which was myself, Karen, and Mia, and then a bunch of other boys. We had one guy named Devin. He was really cool. I really liked him around the camp. He was really nice. He did unfortunately leave, but it was okay. He did get evac'd, but that's okay. But yeah. I would say in general, my favorite part about the group was our counselor, especially Mara. He was really cool. He really pushed us.
The best. I love
Mara was the best. He literally, I did not expect him to I did not expect him to push us that much, to saying, you got this, just stay a little longer. I don't want to see you leave. He really pushed me to stay. And at the end of course, he literally bought us this bottle. He literally gifted us one of our bottles.
Nice.
It was super sweet of him. I'm like, oh, thank you. And so I gave him I think I gave him a couple. He didn't accept the money, but I wanted to just, I'm going to email him, and maybe we're going to have a dinner, and my mom's going to, gift him a little something. We're going to gift him a little something, because he was super sweet. He was really nice with me.
Yeah, Mara, I love Mara. His energy is insane.
Yeah, literally our energy just matched instantly. It was my energy is already really crazy. My energy is super crazy for some people, and his was wait. And when I saw him, wait, is that my instructor? Okay, I think we're good. I think, yeah, I don't think we're gonna have any problems.
What was the most challenging part for you?
The most challenging part would be, sorry, I'm a little cold downstairs.
Yeah, it's fine.
I have my blanket on. I would say the most challenging was the uphills when we were walking, and I'd say also getting over the mental part where I wanted to go home a lot of times. And on my solo, it was I was really alone, so I was getting over the part it's okay, I'm alone. I'm used to being around a lot of people since we've been part of them for a good while, and then we just went full 2 days nobody, and then back to everybody. So I was that was one challenge, 2 challenges I had, and then also challenging me to have to stay and trying, and also making sure I stayed till the whole end of it, and it was really worth it to stay.
You got to convince yourself.
Yes, I had to. Took way too much convincing.
During those mental struggles, what were did you already have skills to kind of help you get through that, or did Mara or anyone else kind of help you through those moments?
I'd say Mara and my 2 good friends, Karen and Mia, if you've already done their meetings, but if you already have done them, they're really sweet girls. They were really kind with me, and Karen lives in LA. She's really sweet. She was awesome around me, and same with Mia. All 3 of us literally supported each other the whole time while we were out there. Nice. At one point, we kind of all of the boys started hanging out with the boys, and the girls hanging out with the girls. So we kind of segregated ourselves. But it was really it was unexpected, but it was really nice to have just some time with just girls, because I really thought I would just be myself. I'm oh great, I'm gonna be, hopefully I'm not the only girl, but if I am, great, there's gonna be a ton more men. I'm okay, good.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the rock wall portion, rock climbing portion, and trusting each other portion. And then also I would say halfway through our hiking up the mountain to get to Lacey Camp, because we had to make a bunch of detours, different plans, multiple different plans. We ended up going toward Lacey Camp for our final, for our solo. And that part, going I think before we got to Lazy Camp, there was another couple kids that did guiding, but I was that last bit that got us to our last spot for our camping. It was really fun because I got to be navigator, and I had already started losing my voice because, like, I don't know why, but like, I think it was the elevation. It caught my voice. I was like, nope, you're not gonna work today for the next couple days.
Tell me how it felt about, belaying is really interesting, right? And like you commented on that trust factor. How did that all go for you?
Honestly, it was really fun to belay. The way I learned when I was like in the city, because I also have done some rock climbing. The way I kind of thought belaying is just like some different way some person taught me. And then when I went to the course, I was like, dude, this is so easy. Belaying is like literally the easiest thing you could do.
How did you feel when you were on the rock and someone else had you?
It was really scary, honestly, because a couple times I almost fell over. I fell off the rock. I'm like, oh shit. And then they had me. I'm like, okay, phew. But it was really fun. It was a really cool experience. And I would definitely I wouldn't do it for a full 2 weeks because I was really homesick at one point during the hiking portion. But during like the first week, I would definitely do it for a week or maybe like into like Wednesday. I'd definitely do it like for a week and a half, going into the second week for a half. But I would definitely do it. But with like my body suddenly changing, like, okay, 1 week, we're done. And then going into the next week, it was like, are we done? It was like my body was like so excited to go home after like the rock welling portion. I didn't realize that there was going to be the actual climbing portion, like the hiking portion. I forgot about that. It just left all sense of my mind. And I'm like, oh shoot, we have the the climbing part where we have to walk up the hills. Yeah. Wonderful.
How long was your solo?
Our solo was, so I will definitely, so right now when we got to Lazy Camp, I was actually the guider to get us to, I believe, Lazy Camp. Yes, we were the guiders. Or were we? My bad. I think we were, sorry, my bad. We were guiding each other to get up to Lazy, all of our group, the whole crew, to get to Lazy Camp. And when we got there, we spent that afternoon when we got there, because we surprisingly got there really early, pretty on time, a little early. And so we ended up walking a bit more toward like upstream, I guess, to a more drier area for our solo. And we spent that evening, we started, and then the next morning, and then the day after, I think it was like Wednesday, we finished. And then Thursday we came back. That Wednesday we came back and started walking to get to our next spot for camping out, to get back to base camp. But yeah, it was really fun. I really enjoyed the solo, and I learned a lot about like it's okay to need to express what you truly feel at that moment, and to be like have to be alone for a while. It's scary, honestly. I was like, for me in my spot, it got real hot. It got real hot because I had my tent like this, and the sun beats down on that way going toward my tent. I'm like in the morning, I'm like sweating. I'm drenched in water. I'm like, why am I so hot? And I look up and I'm like, oh.
What kind of things did you think about during solo? Like,
honestly, I mostly thought about my mom a lot, but then I also remembered, like, I feel like I did bring one item from her that I don't remember what it was, but I felt like I had one item that I had brought, but I don't think I packed. But I remembered it a couple of times, or like I remembered the couple cards that my mom would make. Like when I was little, she had made this little tradition where whenever I started a new school, like a new school year or like a new school, she would make me a good luck card, like, hey, good luck, you're a wonderful kid. And she'll slip it into my lunch, or she'll just slip it into my backpack if we didn't make a lunch. And when I get to school at lunch, I'd read it, I'd find it in my bag. I'm like, oh wait, I never had this in my bag. And I say it's from my mom, and I'm like, oh, my mom made me a card, yay. So I kind of read those cards in my mind, or like had those cards in my mind. I'm like, you know what, my mom's fine. She has the dog, she has my grandma, they're in the house, they're fine, they're not in danger, And I guess hearing my mom kind of in my voice, hearing her a couple nights, like I kind of like pretend to hear her. I'd space out and I'd pretend to hear or like, feel her presence, she'd honestly give me that support to help me keep going and, spiritually in a spiritual way. It helps me. And also talking to God, that also helps me to get through that struggle.
It sounds like you have a really close relationship with your mother.
Yeah.
That's fair to say. So coming back and having, really having the thought of her as your rock during solo, like has your relationship grown in any way since you've gotten back?
Yes, definitely. I literally now I'm like attached to her all the time. I'm always helping her. If she needs help, I'm like, yes, ma'am, I am doing it right now. If you need anything, tell me and I will do it for you.
That sense of service really stuck with you and like helping out.
I really like if I don't do something, like if my mom tells me to do something right at that moment, I just stop everything I have, or like if it's important, I tell my mom, can you wait like maybe 5-ish 10 minutes? But if it's like something minor, like that I'm doing, just watching videos and my mom really needs that thing, then I'll just be like, yes, mom, I'm going upstairs right now to get it. Or she'll text me and I'll help her out. So I really I was really looking forward to finally going home. And when I was doing the countdown in my mind, it was like a conscientious countdown because everybody says like, once you're on that halfway mark after your solo, everybody starts counting down the days when they're getting back to camp.
How long were you out there?
Everybody. Huh?
How long was your expedition?
Ours was about 2 weeks. So the first week, I was in the Pinnacle program. Yeah. So it was about the first like maybe 3 days. I actually documented, like I wrote down all of the things we did on the camp, on my trip. On my little journal, I have like a full-on journal that I wrote it down. And it was crazy because I was just bored that night and I wanted to write down everything. Once I got my iPad back, I was super excited. But I definitely would say like I had a really fun, and the first couple, like I think it was like the first 4 was getting to know everybody and trusting each other. And then we went rock climbing for 2 days. We went into the water at Lake Washanda Dam Reservoir, and that water was freezing cold.
Oh yeah,
cold. It was so cold.
I'm sure.
I went in with Mia on the first time we went rock climbing. Me and my friend, Mia and I went in. We jumped in together, and we were so cold. It was like the most cold thing I've ever felt in my life. I was so cold after I got. I was like, oh Jesus Christ, that's cold. It was so crazy because my friend and I were both on it.
On my course, we were outside in -40.
Oh,
that was the coldest I had ever experienced. Just being out there and there's nowhere to go. You're just outside.
Dang. Yeah, I know. And some mornings it got real cold where we could see our own breath and we're just shivering in our bags. And some of us like stayed in our bags during evening meeting. Like the 3 of us, we had our meeting around like where we had near our dinner table where we had dinner. And we just decided to have dinner near, our stuff, the boys and girls stuff. And so we ended up having stuff together. We had our meeting and then all 3 of us were just wrapped up, curled up in our little beanbag in our bag because it was so cold. And it was really cool. And then the next morning, because we stayed in this like really cute like meadow like area. It was so cute. Like we found it was a couple about a 5-minute walk off the trail. And it was so cute. It was around a bunch of trees, but it was safe enough propped up on this really big different rocks on the mountainside. And it was so pretty. Like it was so pretty. If you came with us, it was like, I really like that place. Everybody was like, yes, this is the perfect spot. We're grabbing our stuff and we're going to stay there. It was really cool. I really liked it.
When you got back, how did you like talk about it, your experience with your dad and your mom?
So I told my mom the most of it because her and I are more close now. I didn't really talk too much about it with my dad because it's like, it was fun, It was the usual things, just saying the most basic things because I was still like mentally upset at him because he had to take me on this trip. But I was
Oh,
also kind of glad he brought me on this trip. But we're like, it's the normal stuff, backpacking, trusting each other with a new group, and because he's also done these kind of things, so he should.
oh, really?
Yeah, he's done it since he was like maybe in his 20s. Once he got into university, when he was in he got his master's, but he I think he got his master's when he was in college. But while he was in college, he had gone on multiple adventures like I did, this kind of adventure, and he do ice climbing. He's done hiking for multiple days. He's done all these kind of outdoor stuff, and he wants me to do it as him, to follow his footsteps. But I'm like, Dad, I may not be like you, but thanks.
So are you prepared, or have you shared you talk about this trip with so much enthusiasm? Have you shared with him this same enthusiasm?
Honestly, for me, I'm really mediocre around my dad. I don't share as enthusiasm with him. Like, yeah, it's fine, Dad. It was fun, rock climbing. But with my mom, I was so happy to finally see her. I was like, yes, Mom. And I told her everything about it. It was to the nitty gritty, to the even details of what we did, what food we kind of had, how it was, what we did during those days. And it was really fun.
Yeah. You should definitely share it with your pops. I feel like he would be stoked to hear your enthusiasm.
So, the surprising thing that I never knew about, at the end of course, we get a final interview from our people, from our coordinators, from the, our guides, from Mara and Jacob, which was our guides. We got an interview, and I was just praying that I'd get Mara, because Mara and I are really close together. We're really close, and he really supported me a lot. So I was like, please let me get Mara. I really love Mara. And I think it was before dinner happened, before our dinner happened, dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I got super excited for to be around him, because he said, basically, we're doing an closing evaluation, just talking about what your experience was, yada, yada, yada. And it was really cool, because I really got to get even more closer with him. And I asked, is it possible my mom could get a copy? And if I know it's gonna be the same thing, but just send one to my dad, but make it as basic as possible, because my dad's really he cares about me, but with certain things, when it came to my struggles and stuff like that, just I kind of avoid telling him that, because I'm very shy about it. But I'm more open around my mom, because she's my mom, and she's also a therapist at the moment. So I wanted her to know about my full experience, all the details in the evaluation that is sent to my mom. And she read it a couple of days ago, maybe about 2 weeks ago now. And she really loved it. And she texted me even saying, "You're so cool."
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she literally texted me saying "Bravo," which means good job. And it was so sweet to hear my mom that she really liked it, this little note that I made, that I popped into her bag. And she really liked it a lot, and she wants to meet Mara real bad.
Oh, yeah, Mara's awesome.
Yeah, he's real cool. I really love him so much. He's he's really cool.
What big things did you learn about yourself, and what do you think you will take from this experience and go forward?
Okay, I will definitely say what I took from that experience is that it's okay to feel like you're in a very scared, vulnerable spot in the world. You're literally stuck in the nowhere in the world. You're literally stuck down at Fresno with no cell service, no devices with you. And literally you're just supposed to trust these random kids that you never met. And you're stuck with these people for a whole 2 weeks, and you're supposed to trust them. No, all of us would be like, how should we trust these people? We literally haven't met them before. So at the first, we were really on the edge for each other. We were like, But then at a certain point, we ended up opening up with each other, getting to know each other so much. And it was really a cool experience. My mom said, I read the letter from Outward Bound, super as always.
Awesome.
So she was really happy to read my letter
Really
from
cool.
Outward Bound that Mara did. Also, one thing that really stood out for all of us when he woke us up in the mornings, it was like dead ass. We were so tired in the mornings, and he'd play like, it's wakey wakey, time to get up. And it's this really cool little song that he played, and it's to get us up. And it was so sweet because it was like because we were all really sleepy in the mornings. So he would sing this little song that he would say to us in the morning, and it was like we all were, or he will like nudge us or like do some cute little motion like as a father or as a mother, and he'd do it, and it's super cool because I would wake up and I'm like, huh, is that you, Mara? I literally am half awake. I'm like, oh, good morning, Mara. And it was really funny. It was really sweet. I definitely would like Mara's like a really special man, and he's really you guys are lucky to have a man like him. He's really unique, and he's really fun to hang out with.
Yeah, he's very, like I said, his energy is hard to match.
Yes, definitely hard to match.
Do you keep in contact with your peers?
I did get Karen and Mia's. I haven't gotten a chance to chat with them, but I am hoping to maybe, is it possible I could get their number actually? Like the actual phone number on your guys' end?
I would have to, let me check if I'm allowed to share information.
Okay. Because I got their Instagram, but I think I lost their Instagram name, or my phone just didn't save it. And
then I'll get back to you for sure. Because I actually think that could be fun. Maybe I'll get on an email chain to see if all three of you could get on. Because I don't think I don't think I heard back from, let me see. I want to see who else ended up getting back to me. Because I've occasionally got a few people together from one crew, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
Watch everybody interact with each other and reminisce.
One quick thing, I think our group, we were called the, what were we called? We had one group name, and I forget what we were called.
So it's Mia and Karen?
Yeah, Mia and Karen, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've heard back from them, but maybe I'll try to get you all on a thing, because I think that could be fun.
That would be really fun, because they're really sweet people. I really love them. And Karen, literally at the time when we were up there, she literally mentioned to us multiple times, like she does notes, like way too many good notes. And I'm like, girl, do you do chemistry notes? And she's like, yeah, I already did my chemistry notes. I'm like, girl, can I please get them? Or can I get like the biology notes or like whatever notes you have? And literally she's like, yeah, I'll definitely give it to you with free charge, because literally we were on this course together and you guys literally deserve those notes. And so Mia and Karen and I are gonna all share each other's, like I'll be getting her notes, and then we'll just be staying in contact. And I'm really excited to, be able to talk to them again, because they're really sweet. And Mia actually surprisingly lives real close to me. She's in the Richmond area, and I'm in Marin. So I just have to take the Richmond Bridge, and I could just see her anytime. Yeah. So it's really,
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I won't take any more of your time. I want to thank you.
Oh, don't worry.
I'll see if I can get Karen and Mia, and that would be really cool. I'll see if I can get their information and share it with you. I'll have to check first. But thanks a bunch. It was really cool to hear your experience and connect as an alumni as well. And when things come up for you, like when you have any like big like milestones that are coming up, let us know. We would love to help celebrate with you.
Okay, sounds cool. Yeah. I also definitely real quick thing. I'd say Jacob is also a really cool guy. He was really unique. He may have been really quiet during the course and very shy, but during the time when we were hiking down from the mountain, there was this little spot in the river when we were refilling our bottles, and I had fallen into it accidentally. Like I went on this really like sketchy part of the snow, and it fell, but I had my hand grabbing onto a branch for backup. I had fell, and he was like, he kind of reprimanded me, but in a kinder way than I usually expected it would be. I'm like, I was on my guard for a hot second. I went on my guard, but then I kind of went down for a sec. because I was like, oh wait, this is a different reprimand I never got before. And I'm like, and that night we said our appreciation. I really appreciated Jacob for like reprimanding me like that, but also like saying it in a gentle way that wasn't too like rough on like a person's, he was really, he was conscientious about how we kids were raised, or like some kids may be raised with a lot of reprimanding or like harsher reprimanding. So the way he did it was like a lot more gentle, and I really liked it.
Cool. Yeah, our instructors are amazing, and I'm glad
they're really sweet.
I'm really glad that you had a positive experience with the both of them.
Shout out to Blair. She made the best food too. Real quick to Blair. She had real good food. It was real good. I even was so excited that I slipped and fell for burritos. And that's how excited I was.